Hey everyone, and welcome back to Epic Travel 360. I'm your host Robert, and I've got a travel secret to share with you, one that completely changed how I see the world. It all started in Kyoto, in a tiny tea house tucked away behind cherry blossoms, as the scent of matcha filled the room. I remember feeling this incredible sense of peace wash over me, not just from the delicate ritual itself, but from something deeper. A silent understanding that passed between me and the tea master, let's call him Mr. Tanaka. It wasn't about the perfectly brewed matcha, though that was divine. It was about something more profound. Transition, with a subtle sound effect like a gentle chime. Before that moment, travel often felt like being on the outside looking in. Admiring the scenery, snapping the photos, but somehow disconnected. But in that Kyoto tea house, something shifted. It was as simple as a shared smile, a silent acknowledgement that despite our different backgrounds, we were both experiencing something beautiful together. Transition with a visual wipe showing a map of the world. I think we've all been there. Packing our bags with keychains and fridge magnets until we realize we've turned our homes into mini tourist traps. I know I have. I used to think that was what travel was all about. I'd come back with a suitcase full of trinkets, but honestly, my heart often felt a little empty. Transition with a thoughtful pause in the music. But what if I told you there's a completely different way to travel? A way to go beyond the surface to truly connect with the heart and soul of a place. Think about your last trip. Were you really present, or just ticking off boxes? What if the real adventure begins the moment you stop being just a tourist? Transition with upbeat, inspiring music starting. Forget the checklist, forget the crowds. Get ready for a taste of what it truly means to experience a culture. From the vibrant rhythms of an indigenous dance in Peru, to the heartfelt hospitality of a Bedouin family sharing their traditions in the Jordanian desert, and the serene blessings of a Thai Buddhist ceremony filling the air with peace and intention. These are the moments that redefine travel. And in this series right here on Epic Travel 360, we're going to show you how to find them. Transition to the next section with a title card, Attention, Why Most Travelers Miss the Soul of a Destination. So why do so many of us miss out on these incredible, authentic experiences? Well, sometimes the most profound moments happen when you least expect them. Take my trip to Morocco a few years ago. I was in Marrakesh during Eid al-Fitr, a huge celebration marking the end of Ramadan. I'd seen the bustling markets, tasted the amazing street food, but I felt a bit like an outsider looking in. Then, something amazing happened. I was chatting with a local shopkeeper named Hamid, just asking about the festivities, and he suddenly invited me to join his family for their Eid meal. I was completely taken aback. Transition with a sound effect like a gentle breeze. That day, sitting on the floor with Hamid's family, sharing tagine and sweet pastries, laughing and trying my best with my limited Arabic, that was a completely different experience than wandering through the tourist souks. It wasn't just about the delicious food, it was about the connection, the genuine human interaction. I wasn't just observing, I was part of their celebration. Transition with a visual of shifting sand dunes. And that experience really got me thinking. Because, let's be honest, a lot of what's presented as culture for tourists is sometimes designed primarily for visitors, focusing more on entertainment than cultural depth. Studies actually show that mass tourism can sometimes lead to the creation of artificial cultural experiences designed more for photo ops than genuine understanding. Think about it. How many times have you seen a traditional dance that feels more like a performance for an audience than a living, breathing part of a community? Transition with a subtle, questioning musical cue. The truth is, the soul of a destination isn't always found in the perfectly framed postcard image. It's in the everyday moments, the unfiltered interactions, the unexpected invitations. It's about seeing beyond the surface and connecting with the people who call that place home. Transition with a visual of someone stepping through a doorway. And that's the key difference, isn't it? Watching versus living. I really understood this when I had the incredible opportunity to spend time with Aboriginal communities in Australia. Forget just watching. Imagine yourself dancing to an Indigenous beat or trying your hand at ancient crafts. Feeling excited yet? It wasn't just about watching a didgeridoo performance. It was about trying to play it myself, learning the stories behind the art, and feeling the connection to their ancient traditions. Transition with the sound of a didgeridoo fading out. My time with the Aboriginal communities was truly eye-opening. It wasn't just about the ceremonies, it was about sitting around the campfire, listening to the elders share their Dreamtime stories, the history of their land, and their deep connection to it. It was a powerful reminder that every place has its own unique narrative, waiting to be heard. Transition with the gentle sound of wind chimes. So, how do we navigate this world of diverse cultures and find those authentic experiences? The answer lies in developing what's called cultural intelligence, or CQ. CQ is your ability to effectively navigate and engage with different cultures respectfully and meaningfully. Think of it as your travel compass, guiding you towards deeper understanding and more meaningful connections. It's about being aware, respectful, and open to learning. Transition to the next section with a title card. Interest: the hidden doorways to authentic cultural experiences. One of the most profound ways to immerse yourself in a culture is to respectfully participate in their traditional ceremonies. Whether it's visiting a Buddhist temple in Thailand, a Shinto shrine in Japan, or an indigenous ritual in Mexico, there are certain ways to behave that show your respect and openness. Trust me, I learned this the hard way once when I accidentally wore bright red to a Buddhist temple. Definitely a faux pas. For example, in many Buddhist temples it's important to dress modestly and remove your shoes. In Shinto shrines, a simple bow shows reverence, and in almost every sacred space, silence and respect are paramount. It's also always a good idea to ask permission before taking photos or videos. Transition with the sound of temple bells. Forget just buying souvenirs or eating at touristy restaurants. Let's talk about getting your hands dirty and truly connecting with local culture. Two of my favorite ways to do this are through cooking and crafting. I remember learning to make pho from a wonderful woman named Mai in Vietnam. It wasn't just about following a recipe, it was about hearing her stories, understanding the history of the dish, and sharing a delicious meal together afterwards. Plus, now I can impress my friends back home. And then there was the time I spent with a family of weavers in Guatemala. The intricate symbolism woven into their textiles told stories of their community and their ancestors. Seeing the heart and soul poured into each piece gave me a profound appreciation for their heritage. Transition with the sound of rhythmic hammering and sizzling oil. Navigating different cultural etiquette can feel daunting, but it doesn't have to. Think of it as building your essential toolkit for cultural connection. Simple things like knowing how to greet someone, understanding appropriate dress codes, and being mindful of gift-giving customs can make a huge difference. Full disclosure, I definitely had some awkward moments early in my travels, like trying to hug someone in a culture where a bow was expected. For instance, in Japan, a bow is a sign of respect. In many parts of the Middle East, offering and receiving gifts with your right hand is important. And in some cultures, like many mosques, removing your shoes before entering is essential. A little research goes a long way. Transition with a subtle sound effect like turning a page in a book. Even if you don't speak the local language, you can still communicate volumes through nonverbal cues. Body language, eye contact, gestures. These are all part of the silent language of culture. Understanding and being mindful of these cues can open doors to deeper interactions. For example, in some cultures, direct eye contact is a sign of honesty and engagement, while in others, it might be considered disrespectful. Similarly, the amount of personal space people are comfortable with varies greatly. Paying attention to these subtle cues shows respect and helps avoid misunderstandings. Music and dance are the heartbeat of a culture. They tell stories, express emotions, and bring communities together. Whether it's the passionate rhythms of flamenco in Spain or the intricate movements of Balinese dance, experiencing these art forms firsthand offers a powerful glimpse into the soul of a place. In Indonesia, I was mesmerized by the graceful movements of Balinese dancers, each gesture carrying deep spiritual meaning. And the infectious energy of a live gamelan orchestra, unforgettable. We've talked a lot about connecting with cultures, but what about how these experiences change us? I recently spoke with Sarah, a traveler who spent time in Bhutan, a country that prioritizes gross national happiness. Her story is a powerful example of how deep cultural immersion can lead to profound personal growth. Being in Bhutan really shifted my perspective. The focus on community, on mindfulness, it made me reevaluate what's truly important in life. It's not just about personal growth, it's also about the incredible connections you make along the way. In Peru, I met a group of weavers in a small village. We spent days learning from each other, me trying my clumsy hand at their ancient craft, them sharing stories of their lives. Those initial interactions blossomed into lasting friendships that continue to this day. Transition with the gentle sound of Andean flute music. Sometimes the most profound lessons come from the simplest ways of life. My time spent with the Maasai tribe in Tanzania taught me so much about community, resilience, and living in harmony with nature. Their connection to their land and their strong sense of togetherness was truly inspiring. Transition with the sounds of nature, birdsong and gentle wind. Whether it's volunteering at a school in Nepal, learning the art of pasta making in Italy, or simply sharing a cup of tea with a local in a bustling market, cultural immersion breaks down barriers and reminds us of our shared humanity. These experiences broaden our perspectives and leave us with a deeper understanding of the world and our place in it. Transition with inspiring world music. The wisdom of ancient cultures holds so much value for our modern lives. Practices like meditation in India and mindfulness in Tibet aren't just historical traditions, they're powerful tools for finding inner peace and navigating the stresses of our busy world. And experiencing them in their cultural context adds a whole new layer of depth. My own journey with mindfulness took on a whole new dimension when I had the chance to practice in Tibet. Surrounded by the stunning Himalayas and the deeply spiritual atmosphere, I learned the true power of being present in the moment. It's a gift that continues to enrich my travels and my everyday life. From vibrant festivals to quiet acts of kindness, cultural immersion opens up a world of experiences you simply won't find within the tourist bubble. It fosters empathy, challenges your assumptions, and leaves you with memories that will last a lifetime. Think about it. You could be dancing in the streets during Carnival in Brazil, celebrating the vibrant colors of Holi in India, or honoring ancestors during Dia de Muertos in Mexico. The world is full of incredible celebrations just waiting for you to experience them. Transition to the next section with a title card, Action. Your journey to cultural discovery starts now. So, you're inspired, right? But maybe you're wondering, where do I even start? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Planning your first cultural immersion experience is easier than you think. For beginners, I often recommend destinations like Costa Rica, where you can easily find authentic eco-lodges and local homestays, or Italy, where you can dive headfirst into the delicious world of food culture through cooking classes and local market visits. The key is to do a little research, be open to new experiences, and consider staying in locally owned accommodations. We've even put together a handy checklist to get you started. You can find the link in the description below. Transition with the sound of a suitcase zipping up. Want to connect with other like-minded travelers and get even more insider tips? Then come join the Epic Travel 360 family. Our online community forums are a fantastic place to share your own cultural immersion stories, ask questions, and connect with fellow adventurers. And every month we host virtual meetups with local guides from around the world, giving you the chance to ask them your burning travel questions. It's all about building a community of passionate, culturally curious travelers. And speaking of incredible cultural experiences, you won't want to miss our next episode. We're taking you on a deep dive into the vibrant and meaningful traditions of the Day of the Dead in Oaxaca, Mexico. Get ready for stunning visuals, heartwarming stories, and a first-hand look at this truly unique cultural celebration. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. We absolutely love hearing about your own cultural immersion adventures. So, we're inviting you to share your stories and photos with us on social media using the hashtag #CultureConnect. We'll be featuring some of our favorite posts right here on the channel. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. Remember, the world is a vast and fascinating tapestry of cultures just waiting to be explored. By opening our hearts and minds, and by stepping outside of our comfort zones, we can unlock a whole new level of travel, one filled with genuine connection, profound learning, and unforgettable memories. Subscribe now and join thousands of travelers unlocking the secrets of authentic cultural immersion. Your next unforgettable experience is just a click away. So don't forget to subscribe to Epic Travel 360 and hit that notification bell so you never miss our weekly insights into authentic cultural experiences around the world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep traveling authentically.